Everybody, this is Representative Travis Couture, just coming to you from downtown Shelton here to talk about what's in store for the next legislative session starting in January. As you may have heard, there's a buffet of new taxes being proposed by Democrats in the legislature. Anything between a 5% payroll tax, an income tax, and even a wealth tax, and probably even more taxes that we haven't even heard of yet. As a matter of fact, we're all out of money.
And I'm not surprised we are, because you can thank every single liberal who wants to vote Democrat and put us in this position, because they are the ones that's actually out there complaining about minimum wage and all this type of stuff. Yet instead they keep voting for the same party that keeps putting them in this position. But that's me saying that because they're not gonna listen.
Here in Washington State, and there's plenty of people who do not have any more to give, especially when we're not getting anything in return for the money we've invested in the state government. That's why I've proposed a new budget framework going into the next session that is no new taxes, no cuts to vulnerable people or services, no cuts to healthcare, classrooms, or public safety.
How about lower taxes and lower taxes? Because if I'm not the one who actually also agrees with this, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and I want y'all to let me know in the comment section down below, and matter of fact, hit the like button and let me know as well. We all want more money in our pockets, am I correct?
But we cut $4 billion of wasteful, bloated government that isn't serving people right now. And that's why we can do a budget with no new taxes, with important protections for taxpayers, including a cap on spending and a taxpayer relief account that, if we would have enacted back in the 2013-2015 budget cycle, would have delivered $15 billion in tax relief to Washingtonians. But more,
you know something, I don't believe a taxpayer relief account should have worked, and I don't think that would have worked, because that probably would have been a situation that Democrats would have probably screwed us over with again. I think personally, what should have happened is we could have just kept lowering taxes and had less government, have less government workers, and I'm gonna put it like this: if we cut the government workers in half, by probably been 3/4, if we would have never worried about all this homeless situation, because you know what, I'm gonna get to this later.
Importantly, we understand that there is a huge affordability crisis here in Washington. We have some of the highest costs of gas, groceries, rent, insurance, energy, childcare, you name it, across the board. We're in the top 5 or the top 10 in all those categories.
Okay, childcare could easily be situated. All this stuff could easily be situated if you do so many simple things. First and foremost, lower taxes. Second of all, money mismanagement. This is a money mismanagement issue. This is not an affordability crisis. This is a money mismanagement issue, and a lot of this have to do with fraud. Another thing is, it's bloated government. It's over $800,000, 800,000 workers in this state alone. Government workers. Keep this in mind. 800,000 government workers. If you slice that in half, or at least 3/4, I guarantee you this budget would be on a surplus. Another thing is, audit the government, because I guarantee you, y'all are on the chopping block right now at this point, and I guarantee you there's going to be a federal lawsuit against Washington State and everything y'all are doing. You think Minnesota's bad? Trust me, this is way worse.
Is here in Washington State, and we have to do much better as a state government to ensure that we are delivering at a place that it is affordable to live, work, and raise a family here in this state. What's also important to people right now, especially with the high cost of living here in Washington State, is food assistance. In my new budget framework, we are going to make sure that vulnerable people like homeless folks and veterans.
Nope, that's where you got me wrong. I'm sorry. Homeless people, no. Veterans, I'm okay with. Elderly people, I'm okay with. These women who are popping babies willingly and voluntarily, fuck no. I'm sorry, but it's time for them to stop. They're using these kids like cash grabs, and they're not even taking care of these kids. I'm sorry. You have to hold these women accountable who voluntarily pop these babies, because they are the ones that create the most criminals in the society, whether you believe it or not. They need to get themselves under control, because guess what? You got to put a law in place to hold these parents accountable for their child's actions. Secondly, yes, I said no for the homeless. Do you know why? And I'm going to say this now, because let's be honest, y'all are not going to really take care of the homeless. We've already spent $1 billion, over $1 billion to homeless. And guess what? They haven't taken an inch out of the situation. It then just got none but worse. These people willingly choose to be homeless, and you think that this is going to help? I'm sorry, but you got two choices in this situation, because believe it or not, this is technically loitering, and it should be a crime, I do believe, right? So they got two choices: either get off their ass and get a job, or go their ass to jail. Because situation being, this should not be happening. These people should not be sleeping in the streets. Now yet instead, at the same time, putting women and kids' lives in danger. You have to think that through, dude. I need you to go back to the drawing board, and I would like to have a discussion with you, like face to face, if you have time, because personally, this is not going to work.
Veterans and senior citizens and foster kids don't fall through the cracks with food assistance. And importantly, we reverse the harmful nearly $1 billion in Medicaid cuts that the Democrats made last session to ensure that low-income Washingtonians have access to health care. And we're going to pump more money into financially almost insolvent hospitals in Washington state to make sure that our hospitals, especially in rural areas, do not go away.
What about illegal immigrants? Like, literally, what about illegal immigrants? What about getting rid of them? Because I have talked to many people, and I mean, some people watch my video that I talk to. I guarantee you, one of the main things out of the top 3 situations that everybody told me that they would get rid of in this in Washington state is traffic. We have a lot of illegal immigrants driving vehicles. What about getting rid of the illegals? Because they're taking most of the freaking government resources. This is where most of the money laundering is going to. What about getting rid of the illegals? Think about it.
There's going to be a lot of talk next session about taxes. And one of the things that you can probably perceive is that Governor Ferguson will be coming out, which he has to by law, an all cuts budget. The uglier that budget gets, the more people will be scared into more tax increases. But we've proven with this budget framework that you can cut wasteful government, protect taxpayers, protect core services, make sure that healthcare and classrooms and public safety is fully funded.
And if you add the things that I talked about, I guarantee you that a lot of people will be more trustful of the government. This is why people have a hard time trusting it, because y'all are not making it better. Y'all are making it worse. And I know you are by yourself in this situation. And I mean, I do give you some grace in this, in this process, because there's not many Republicans in the seats, which I understand. However, there's you have honestly, and I said this before and some people disagree with me, but the Republican Party right now in this state alone is so bland. They need to put more effort and start thinking like Trump. Stop getting Trump's approval and start thinking like Trump. Think about his methods and how he handles situations. As you already know, because I actually I'm really good at trolling, especially when it comes to like that thumbnail I recently did of Katie Wilson. If you didn't see how she looks like Hellraiser, think about how to You have to change the game a little bit. You have to think outside of the box, because I know you are a person of leadership, but you honestly, I feel like you want to be politically correct, and sometimes it's not always good to be politically correct. It's you need to be you. You need to be organically who you are. I think maybe I need to put my, this is why I'm actually doing a lot more of this stuff, because I want to put myself more out there so I can actually help other people think. But I know it's a lot, they won't listen to me. There's a high chance they won't. But I mean, I'm just speaking my thoughts.
Without having to tax people into oblivion. And right now, we're looking at zero.
And before I go there, you know, but it's funny that some people, a lot of people will vote for me. I'm surprised, but I appreciate that.
Job growth in 2026 in Washington State. That is a devastating number. Our manufacturing industry is weakened. Our construction industry is weakened.
And the reason why that is happening is because of these illegal immigrants. A lot of these fucking companies who don't deserve to be a company is freaking actually hiring illegals instead of hardworking people to do the job. Now, I'm going to also give some leeway, because there are also lazy people who don't want to do the job. But there's a lot of people who are willing to do the job and actually get paid what they deserve and not get paid under the table like these illegals are getting paid.
This is
because all they're doing is cheap labor. Technically, it's like slavery.
Very important at a time where we have a housing crisis in Washington State. We have to be able to do a lot better.
We don't have a housing crisis. We have an affordability issue. And the reason why that is because there's high taxes. You can't freeze rent. You can't. The only way you get the lower rent is if you lower the taxes, the property taxes. And a lot of these people who own these properties are not even, don't even own them outright. They finance them too. Like, you have to actually, there's a lot of work that need to be done. And Mr. Couture, look, I'm telling you right now, if you want to have a one-on-one with me, and I want to just have a lot of discussions with Republicans, because I tried to network with a few on X and I got pushed to the side. But guess what? It's not going to stop me from doing what I got to do, because guess what? I'm not politically correct. I'm just politically legit. So let me know y'all thoughts in the comment section down below.